If you take an honest look at your life, it probably doesn't look like a success story. It looks like a crime scene. A guitar collecting dust in the corner. A half-built website abandoned mid-code. Books you read halfway and swear you'll finish later. A sudden obsession with baking, followed by a phase where you were convinced jujitsu would change your life. And now, all of it just sits there, silent, unfinished, judging you. You don't feel lazy. You feel something worse. Shame. A quiet, heavy shame that whispers, something is wrong with me. Because everyone else seems to have picked a lane. They chose one thing. They stuck with it. They became someone. And you? You keep starting. You keep drifting. You keep quitting right before things get real. Society has a label for people like you. They don't say it kindly. They call you scattered, undisciplined, a dabbler, a dilettante, someone who lacks grit, someone who can't commit, someone who will never be great at anything. And eventually, you start saying it to yourself. You feel like an imposter everywhere you go, because no matter what room you walk into, there's always someone who's been there longer, gone deeper, sacrificed more. You know the phrase, jack of all trades, master of none, and you use it like a weapon, against yourself. But before we go any further, listen to me carefully. If this description hurts, this video is for you. So before I explain why your entire life has been misdiagnosed, do two things right now. Subscribe, because this channel is not here to make you feel comfortable. It's here to make you accurate. And watch this all the way to the end. Not halfway, not while scrolling, not while multitasking. Because by the end of this video, you're either going to finally understand yourself, or you're going to keep fighting a version of life that was never designed for you in the first place. Now, let's dismantle the lie you've been living under. You were taught, directly or indirectly, that success only comes one way. Pick one thing early. Ignore everything else. Go all in. Depth over breadth. Specialization over curiosity. Focus at all costs. For the last 100 years, this advice actually worked because the world was stable, predictable. If you chose the right profession and stayed loyal long enough, the world rewarded you. This was an easy game, a clean game, an environment where the rules didn't change mid-play. If you drilled the same skill for 10,000 hours, you won. But your nervous system knows something that society refuses to admit. That world is gone. You don't live in a stable environment. You live in a hostile one. Industries collapse overnight. Skills expire. Automation replaces people silently. AI doesn't ask permission. And in a world like this, hyper-specialization isn't strength, it's fragility. Because when your one skill stops mattering, you stop mattering. Your brain sees this threat clearly, even if you don't. So, instead of locking on to one identity and clinging to it for dear life, you drift, you explore, you sample, you collect experiences instead of titles. One year, you're obsessed with fitness and movement. The next, you're deep into tech, then philosophy, then music, then business. To people watching from the outside, it looks like chaos. To your parents, it looks like confusion. To your peers, it looks like wasted potential. To you, it feels like failure. But what if I told you it's neither? What if I told you this pattern isn't weakness, it's adaptation? Psychology doesn't call this a lack of focus. It calls it a highly adaptive cognitive strategy. You aren't broken. You aren't behind. You aren't incapable of commitment. You are building something most people never even realize exists. A mind designed not for stability, but for volatility. A mind that doesn't bet its entire future on one collapsing structure. A mind that spreads risk across multiple domains. A mind that can move. And there's a name for this architecture. It's not T-shaped. It's not linear. It's not conventional. It's called the M-shaped mind. And once you understand it, everything about your past stops looking like failure and starts looking like preparation. But here's the problem. If you don't understand this now, you will spend the rest of your life apologizing for who you are. You'll keep trying to crush your curiosity. You'll keep forcing yourself into narrow lanes. You'll keep burning out, quitting and starting over, thinking you lack discipline. And that internal war will destroy you long before the world ever does. So stay with me, because next I'm going to show you why your unfinished projects weren't abandoned. They were data collection, and why the people who look the most focused today are often the least prepared for what's coming next.